My name is Bryan Jowers. I'm on the product team here at Chainlink, and excited to talk to you a little bit about what we believe is Web3's serverless moment. So, in traditional Web 2, serverless was a catalyst for developer innovation. We saw developers go from 0 to 60 overnight. And it's because we abstracted, and like the serverless way, abstracted all the complexity of running the infrastructure and all the coordination of deployments behind the scenes. And developers could just focus on the code that they were going to write. And that was a monumental opportunity for developers to just build. This is why we think the Chainlink Functions is just that, but for Web3. We're all here because we believe Web3 has a huge opportunity to build a better world and create a lot of value. And you are the developers that are going to build that. We're behind the scenes here to enable you to build the next-gen application. But we know that there's a big hurdle, some complexity that exists, and that is Web3 can't access Web 2 data very easily. There's massive data sets that are out there. I'm talking, private data, public data, all APIs, gaming, DeFi, or traditional finance, all of these data sets just waiting to be unlocked, but it hasn't been easy. These numbers fluctuate, but it's a big signal to us that there's about 1,000 times more developers building in Web 2 than in Web 3 today. This is our opportunity. How do we speak their language? How do we build towards what they're accustomed to building with all the use cases that they understand? We've seen a lot of signal over the years. 80% of our ecosystem, our developer community, is building with Web 2 data. But we haven't made it very easy for them. They're using older products of Chainlink that are just not optimized for the developer experience. So you've been telling us of how hard it's been, what the opportunity is, and why this unlock needs to happen. And our engineering team has been building for the last many months. And earlier this year, we announced Chainlink Functions coming to testnet. Incredible opportunity for developers to see, the opportunity that's in front of them, what can be built. This week, as you guys know, we stepped it up and brought Chainlink Functions to mainnet. So we're live on 3 chains today with some enhanced functionality and capabilities, but this is really our day one. This is where we start measuring our success and what our developer community is telling us looking forward. Kamal talked about the platform. You can see data, compute, cross-chain. Compute is an essential piece of the Chainlink vision that we've been building for years, and you'll understand why. We think Chainlink Functions can always be improved, but so far it's still powerfully simple. You can fetch any data, run any compute, and return any result. Here's an example of a developer that is fetching data from Stripe. Let's say it's a user's balance, being able to run just a few lines of compute, or a lot more if it's needed, and then returning that value onto chain. You can imagine the use case that returning a real-life bank account balance can unlock for DeFi. We saw a couple months ago Google get on stage and demonstrate what Chainlink Functions can do in their platform. They took offline behavior, transformed it into online data, and returned it with on-chain transparency. How they did this was they took multiple Google properties, Google Analytics, Google BigQuery, and married that with the Web3 ecosystem. So again, being able to take user behavior, pump it through analytics, translate that ETL into BigQuery, and have Chainlink, with Chainlink Functions, take all that data and return that in a transparent, verifiable compute manner onto chain. Super powerful, really novel use case that we're starting to see more and more and more interest in. Developers are the reason we built this, and developers are the ones that keep surprising us with new use cases. We've seen things in gaming, traditional finance. Like one that got me really excited is in logistics, being able to prove cryptographically that something is in transit or it has been verifiably delivered. In social, cross-chain, Then we've seen lots of examples in private and enterprise data, governance in a gas-efficient manner, being able to prove snapshot votes, identity, prediction markets, and even zero knowledge. Imagine offloading all of the gas-intensive compute into a Chainlink system where it's computed on the edge of the network and return for your benefit, for your developer, for your user's benefit in a provable, transparent way. This is what really gets us excited. So what's new in Chainlink functions? Well, it's available on mainnet. You no longer have to sign up. There's no more wait lists. We've rethought and improved how do we make our secrets even more secure in a decentralized, threshold encrypted manner. It's basically like sharding secrets. We've expanded our developer limits. So when you're starting just on day one out of the gate, you have more compute and more power that you can use. But even if you're starting to hit some of the limits, we can work with you on a case-by-case basis to give you what you need. So come talk to us. There's a new developer functions playground that allows you to understand the power of functions and how do you build with functions. And then an entirely new UI that allows you to deploy and manage functions where you need. Chainlink functions uses a payment rails of the link token. So it's just like subscriptions. You can fund your subscription, and on a utilization basis, it's debited. So it uses the link token to power the ecosystem. And looking forward, how do we build towards the future? So there's obviously a whole roadmap ahead of us of where we can go and what we can add to the system. There's a couple of priorities that we think are important for us to do first. Adding L2 support, we can all see that there's growing interest, growing developer community around L2s, so Arbitrum, Optimism, and Base. And then many more chains beyond there. We want to be where you are. We want to be where the developers tell us to be. So that's really essential for us to do. Exploring how do we make this product even easier for you to build. I talk a lot about the serverless moment being how we get to that 30+ million developers. We can't do that without proper tooling. Our ecosystem is nascent. There's a lot of tooling that exists in Web2 today that people take for granted that don't quite exist in our ecosystem. So we still have a lot of opportunity in front of us on how to make this better, but that's a core pillar for us to succeed. We want our developers to not think about what they're building on, but instead focus on what their core product and application is. And then delivering serious power features. There's a lot that can run behind the hood that's offloaded into the Dawn on the node that we can abstract and start building as core features. Like a really good example is it's really difficult to read and to write onto blockchains. That should be a discrete method that you have as in your back pocket to be able to build with decentralization. There's a number of power features that we think that you guys are going to start asking us for more, but we want to listen to you guys and prioritize around you. All these reasons kind of add up to why we think this is the serverless moment for Web3 on-chain development. There are countless use cases that we get told all the time, why can't I do this? I would like to build and go and deploy and have this application. I can't do it without you guys. This is why we're building this. This is what we believe is the hockey stick opportunity for developers and use cases across the ecosystem. So we want to hear from you on what you need to build. There's exciting, Chainlink Hackathon is always coming up in the fall, just about a month or so away. We're going to be watching what you guys are building. We're going to be listening to what is still not there for Chainlink functions. This is still very early. So I encourage you to explore now what could your hackathon project do and use with Chainlink functions so that we can start building together. Now's the time to build. I kind of just gave you the spiel on why I get passionate and really excited about this ecosystem, and we still haven't fulfilled, the destiny of Web3. These are the tools, hopefully, that we need to be able to connect the dots and take that 30,000 developer into the tens of millions of developers and start taking the Web 2 products that exist and start adding Web 3 benefits, decentralization, trust verifiable compute, and all these things. This is what gets me excited. Go build. Thank you.